Just want to check whether my voice is crystal clear.
It is very clear, Ramaya. I just want to
Okay.
invite you all to the third session,
Yes.
complimentary session of AWS Cloud Engineering. And if you're still around, which means that you're passionate about cloud engineering, and I cannot emphasize you, there's a lot of demand for AWS cloud engineering. So we are going to learn a multifaceted role, and Amia is an expert in a cloud platform. So he's going to make things easy for you. But I do want to tell you to please engage and ask questions, because there are no silly questions. The more you engage, you are going to open and explore Amaya more. What do you say, Amaya? Right? If people don't ask questions, then Amaya is going to think that everybody's understanding. So we don't want to be in that. So right from the beginning of the training, I recommend everybody to open up, and you are here for your own personal goals. So continue to open and ask Amia, no matter how simple question it is. There are no stupid questions. Every question is a good question. I want to make sure that all of you guys are able to take the interview like a pro, right? That's very important for me. So kindly request you all to reach out and make sure you are clear all your questions in the session itself. So ask Amaya and make sure your foundations are strong and you're having a good start for the training. Okay, Amaya, over to you. You can take it up from here. Thank you. You're the host now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Satish. People are still joining.
Yeah, they're still joining. You can start now. It'll be fine.
Yeah. I just need a 1 minute, quick minute, just to set up my screen. Just give me 1 minute, folks, and then we'll start. I hope everyone you are able to see my screen clearly.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Sorry, my device was in different room, so that's the reason. This is an additional security layer for your AWS account. So in case, even though if your password is breach or share, still you don't need to worry, because you need to provide the additional security code, which you can see from your mobile. It's called multi-factor authentication. Okay, so now let's repeat, folks. Anyone wants to repeat that what we have learned yesterday? What's today's topic? Anyone? Come on, folks. What we have learned in last week. I sorry, not last week, yesterday only. Come on, everyone. Anyone? Just want to highlight the point. Anyone? Garima, Likhit, Marlene, Naveen, Prashant, Samir.
Um, the advantages of AWS and the
Mm-hmm.
AWS services.
Mm-hmm.
Advantages and access methods for AWS like CLI.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right, correct.
One is GUI,
And the other one is CLI.
and third,
And the third one was um
software.
oh yeah, software by the
Software development
Py
kit.
the, correct, with Python or other JavaScript, I guess.
Correct. All right. So that we have learned. We have also understand the six types. Then we also understand some of the features from the AWS console, right? What exactly the categories, what exactly the service is. So today I'm going to talk about the pricing. So yesterday I discussed about this that for an example, let's say in my AWS, or let's say I have a one web application and I want to host that web application on AWS. But I cannot pay as you go, right? I don't want to pay it because pay as you go, it means what? It is for the short term, where you prefer to pay whatever you consume it, right? But here I'm giving a commitment to AWS that okay, I'm using your EC2 instance at least for the 5 6 years. So now we have, whenever we purchase something, we have a general philosophy about the discount as well. So now same thing here also it's apply. AWS also provide you the discount. Okay, so let's understand the pricing part one by one. What exactly the Paul, can you please mute yourself? Thank you. Okay, give me a minute. What happened to presentation? Oh, I got it.
May I just have a quick question? When we signing up for the AWS account, the free tier?
Yes, we are going to create soon
Okay,
because that is required because we are going to perform a lot of practical sessions. Everything, you know, the practical.
right.
So for that, okay, I mean to say I'm showing you the practical and at the same time you also need to perform the same thing on your AWS console. So now everyone, let's understand the fundamental pricing of AWS. So now remember folks, there are three fundamental drivers of a cost with AWS. So the one is the compute, second is storage, and third one is outbound data transfer. Now these characteristics, okay, vary somewhat depending on the AWS product and pricing model that you choose. So now in most of the cases, there is a no charge for inbound data transfer or for a data transfer between other AWS service within a same region. So what exactly the reasons, that I'll tell you at the moment. You just need to understand that, okay, this is one of the zone where we have a data center. That's nothing but a region. But here, there are also some exceptions. So be sure to verify the data transfer rate before you begin to use AWS. It means the data transfer between your AWS to your data center or AWS to different region. So outbound data transfer is aggregated across service and then it charged at the outbound data transfer rate. So these charges also appear on your monthly statement as the data AWS data transfer out. I'll show you whenever we start the practical where exactly this billing option is. So now, you know, whenever we are going to purchase something, all right, and if you purchase in a bulk, now we are expecting that, okay, the shop owner, okay, should give me some more additional discount. Now, why? Because I'm going to purchase everything, each and everything, right? So obviously, uh, the shopkeeper give you more discount if you purchase one t-shirt, or if you purchase 100 t-shirt, then obviously there is a discount in the price. So this philosophy is also what underlies the AWS pricing. So while the number and the type of service also offered by the AWS has increased dramatically. So AWS philosophy on the pricing has not yet changed. Okay, so at the end of the each month you pay for what you use, and you can also start or stop using the product at any time. No long-term contract is required. So this AWS also offer a range of cloud computing services, and each service you pay for exactly the amount of resources that you actually need it, right? So this utility style pricing model, for example, pay for what you use, pay less when you reserve, pay less when you use more, and pay even less as AWS grows, right? So now let's take a closer look of each and everything what exactly I'm saying. So for pay for what you use. So unless you build a data center for a living, you might have spend too much time and money building them. So with AWS, you pay only for the service that you consume with no large upfront expense. You can also lower a variable cost. So you no longer need to dedicate a valuable resources to building the costly infrastructure, including your purchasing servers, software licensing, leasing facility, etc. You can quickly adapt to changes business need, and also it redirect your focus on innovation and invention by paying only for what you use and for as long as you need it. So all AWS services are available on demand. It's required no long-term commitments, and they don't have any complex license dependencies. Yes, Obiora, you have any question? If not, can you please mute it? Now, there are some certain services like virtualization services, EC2, right? And there is another services called relational database services. So now here you can invest in a reserve capacity. Now, what exactly I'm saying reserve capacity here? For an example, right? Let's say you're going some other cities for accommodation. Obviously, you have a three option. Now, one option is that okay, you can book a hotel or resort. Second option is that okay, you can rent an apartment. And third option is that you can purchase a home. So if you're traveling, in another city and you want to stay for 2 or 3 days, then obviously we directly choose a hotel. Why? Because obviously I don't have any agreement with the hotel. I just use it and then just leave it. So you use hotel to accommodate yourself. You whatever you consume it, their services like the bar or let's say some spa or some any other services. While checkout, you just need to pay accordingly. That's the your hotel stay. Now, if you go more than 3 or 4 months, or let's say 11 months in some other countries, then obviously hotel option is not good. Now, reason is that it is more costlier, right? So, you can rent an apartment in this case if you are traveling more than 5, 6, or 11 months, right? Instead of paying or purchasing on demand. And once you can purchase it, this is what called reserve instance, where you can reserve the instance for 3 years. So whenever, here you can see if you use this pay this, no, this reserve instance capacity, right? You can save up to 75% of over equivalent with on-demand capacity. So it means the hotel example which I give that is on demand. And here the renting apartment is nothing but a reserve instance where you have a commitment and you also get some discount as compared to the hotel charges. So, so here you can see all upfront reserve instance AURI. PURI, it means partial upfront reserve instance and no upfront reserve instance. Right? These are the things I'm talking about. So whenever you buy reserve instance, you receive greater discount, and when you make a larger upfront payment, okay. So to maximize your saving, you can also pay all upfront, and you will also receive, I can say, the larger discount. Now this partial upfront, right? Partial upfront reserve instance also offer some lower discount, but they have the option to spend less upfront. And lastly, you can also choose to spend nothing upfront and receive a smaller discount, which also enable you to free capitals, expenses from your projects. Now, this AURI, PURI, NURI, it's the same philosophy, right? So whenever I say that the all upfront reserve instance, okay, I go to the one of the shop and say that I need that 100 t-shirt and I'm going to pay immediately. Just provide me the t-shirt. So you said, okay, we will provide you the 30% discount because you purchase everything from the shopkeeper. Next day, again, you go to the same shopkeeper and say that, okay, hey, I want to, purchase one of the ladies top. But now here, what I can do, I cannot pay you 100%. I can pay you 50% today and 50% later on. So shopkeeper say that, okay, yesterday you took the uh, yesterday you just no took give me the 40% discount. So obviously why? Because you pay upfrontly everything, right? But here you are paying partially. So instead of 30 or 40% discount today, I can offer only 20. And the third one, no upfront payment means what? Now, again, in the same shop, again, you are going to purchase something. You said that, okay, I need 100 quantity, but I'll pay later on. So let me use that product or check the product, and after that, I can pay. That's nothing but a NURI. Make sense, everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now with AWS, you can get volume-based discount, and then you realize the importance of saving, right? Whenever you're, AWS uses increase, obviously there is a
Sorry,
cost.
Amaya. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I just have a question in regards to that previous slide. What about the ORI, like you said, all upfront is reserved discount, right? What is, for instance, for example, like if there is any change in the agreement, what will happen about the discount of the upfront paid money?
Okay. So for an example, let's say you have the 3-year reserve instance you're talking about, right?
Okay,
You have a 3-year reserve instance, for example, and you purchase everything that I mean to say all upfront reserve, AURI. Am I correct?
right.
You paid it. And now let's say after 1 year, what will happen if I want to change it? If I want to change the thing, right? I mean to say you want to change the instance type, or let's say you want to change the or you don't want to use it. Am I correct?
Not to use it, but like just in case, using less services,
Mm-hmm.
or like for instance, or any change, like we're not going to use all the services and just a little bit, and at that
So
point
see,
when
yeah. So this is not only for entire services. This is your for the specific here virtual machine, or let's say the RDS, relational database services. It's not like that you if you want to go ahead with the Lambda, then again there is a it's a completely serverless. So in here AURI, PURI, NURI, when I say that it is only for the specific services, mainly for the infrastructure as a service and platform as a service.
oh, okay, okay, understood, got it.
Okay,
Yeah, clear.
awesome. Any other question, folks? Been while, Garima, Likhit, Naveen, Marlin,
No,
are you guys
nothing from
there?
my side.
No, I understood.
Nitya, Paul, Oberoi, Samir, Shweta, Tushar, Siddharth.
No, I'm good.
No?
Yeah.
S- Okay. What about Sudesh? Do you have a question, Sudesh? Are you listening my presentation? I guess he's not there. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. I again forget my bottle. Just give me 1 minute. Oh. Okay. So with the AWS, you can also get some volume-based discount. And as I said that you realize the important importance of the saving. So here now services like S3. So remember price is tiered, which means that you pay less per GB when you use more. And in addition, the data transfer in is always free. So the multiple storage services deliver lower storage costs based on your needs. And as a result, your AWS users need to increase and you benefit from the economic of scale that enable you to increase adoption and also keep the cost under control. So your organization involves AWS also give you the option to acquire a service that help you to address your business need. For example, the AWS storage service portfolio also offer to help for your lower pricing based on how frequently you access the data. Because all the data is not similar data, right? So for an example, you have some data which you rarely access, right? Or you have some data which you use for the cold storage purpose. Or let's suppose you are working in insurance sector, or let's say you are working in medical sector where you need to store your patient record, and might be that record you want to store for the decade, and we hardly access those data, very very rarely. And there is another data which we access regularly. So we upload these two different type of the objects or the files on a AWS, then why should I pay the same amount of money? Because one is I'm accessing daily, another is not. So for that, to resolve that purpose or to issue, AWS also design a different storage classes for your storage. That is S3. So we'll also see that in upcoming session. But at the moment, okay, you can also save again by using these kind of the storage devices. So here you can see the another one, pay even less as AWS grows. So AWS constantly focus on reducing data center hardware costs. So it also improve your operational efficiency, lowering power consumption and generally lowering the cost of doing business. So these optimization and the substantial growing economic of scale, AWS result in passing that they are saving back to your lower pricing. It means since 2006, AWS has lowered the pricing 75 times. And another benefit of the AWS, that higher performing. Okay, so it means, let's say AWS replace their hardware. Now they have coming with some different solutions with the, with different better hardware. Then there is no any additional cost to the customer, right? So when you start consume that specific hardware, then only it generate a bill. That's the reason I'll say that it's a completely pay as you go services. And even though you also have a custom pricings, right? So one of my previous organization, right? So they are the enterprise customer of the AWS, where we got one technical account manager, TAM, right? Was assigned from the AWS itself. Now, what exactly the TAM? So TAM is nothing but a mediator between us and the AWS. So we have a weekly sessions, weekly meetings related to the the different problems of AWS, which might be a sales, which might be a support. So TAM is a mediator who resolve everything. They also check that whether we upload or create any IAM incident management with the AWS or ticket anything. So in that case, okay, for the enterprise account, AWS provide these kind of the TAM, and they also provide us a custom pricings, because AWS realize that every customer has a different need. And if none of the AWS pricing model work for your project, custom pricing is also available for high volume projects with some unique requirement. So now folks here, as I said that we also need to create the AWS free tier account. So now to help a new AWS customer to get started in the AWS cloud, AWS also offer a free users tier. It's called as AWS free tier account for any new customer up to 1 year. So the AWS free tier applies to some certain services and options. Right? So as I said that, it's not like that everything is a free. There are some limitations as well. For example, if you are launching the instance, okay, we launch it T2 micro, right? So make sure, okay, you change it to your, I mean to say, give me 1 minute. I'm facing little bit issue. Okay, sorry about this. So here, as I said earlier as well, okay, you can launch the different instances, right? But it's not like everything is a free. So once we create an account, you can watch everything, you can see everything, but do not launch anything, right? Because it's not like everything over under the free tier. And there is a no difference between your free tier account and the enterprise account. Both are the same, or even though you can use your free tier account as an enterprise account or your quality analysis account, development account, or anything. So now here there are some services you can see like virtual private cloud. It means what? From virtual private cloud, you can also create a different environment. Obviously, in your office environment, or even though my environment, I have a different environment. One is for the QA, second is for the UAT, third is for the development perspective, fourth is for the support. And now every user, they don't want to connect each other. Or let's say some want to connect each other. Some want to keep it only the public data, someone want only required a private data. So in that case, how exactly you can create a network? So for that, we have a virtual private cloud services. Then we also need, the another one is that the, elastic beanstalk. Now, whenever I say elastic beanstalk, it means you can, even though you can also create a web application using AWS beanstalk, you just need to upload the code and AWS will create everything for you. So this infrastructure as a code, no, this sorry, Elastic Beanstalk is a part of infrastructure as a code. Then we have a auto scaling as well, right? So where you can scale up or scale down the instance automatically using the auto scaling, group. So we have some small projects where we include your EC2 instance, where we include your name as well. Then what we can say, uh, so while uh, I got a message on the screen that my internet is unstable, but I'm here. I'm having very good. So everyone, am I audible clearly to you?
Yeah, yes.
I
Yeah.
There is no disruption, right?
Yes, no
No,
disruption.
no disruption.
It's
Okay,
working absolutely fine.
okay. Because continuously I got a message that there is a low network or something. Okay. So now here, what I'm trying to say is that you have a different options. You're scaling, right? So AWS Cloud Formation tools. So these are the different AWS services which is also offer a completely free. Then here you can also see that IAM. So now IAM, identity and access management, it means what exactly? It means your authentication and authorization. So what do you think? What is authentication and authorization, folks? what is authentication, and what is authorization? Anyone?
Authorization, I believe that you have access to it or you can make a changes in it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is
Restricting
uh,
access for
yeah,
different different type of
like
users,
yeah, that's correct. Like permissions protocols giving to the particular users have certain you know,
and also to the services as well, to talk like to for communicating, like to let two services communicate with each other, managing those accesses as well.
Okay, great. Any other folks? Any other folks? What is authentication? What exactly the authorization?
Yeah, so basically authentication is to verify the user, can be a
Mm-hmm.
individual or a machine
Mm-hmm.
or anything. And
Mm-hmm.
authorization is basically whether that user once authenticated has the permission and what permissions they have.
Correct. So it means whenever you go to the office, right, you have a punch card. So you punch it, right? It means what? You are authenticated. You are authenticated user to enter in your office premises. Then you connect the same punch card to your QA department or any other department. But the moment you punch the same card to the your server room, it show access denied. It means you are not authorized to enter in a server room, but you are authorized to go up no, any other room. So here is my user, my punch card, and the permissions, different permissions which I have. That's called the authorization. So now my first topic, my very first topic, after explaining everything, the basic, we will start with these identity access management, where we are going to create users, groups, roles, and policies. So now how exactly we can calculate the cost, right? Here, how exactly we can calculate the cost. So we have one options, that is total cost of ownership. But before we start, the total cost of ownership, do you have any question till now? Anyone? Till now? Garima, Prashant, Paul,
No.
Shweta? Okay, okay. So because it's a new topic and I might require more than 20-30 minutes. Okay, so what we can do, folks, there is a case study also that I'm going to explain. What we can do, we'll take a quick break. I need a break for some reason. So we can take a break and we'll come back in 10 minutes. What do you think, folks?
Sure.
Everyone?
Yeah, okay.
no problem.
Okay, let's take a break for 10 minutes and then come back. Hello everyone, I'm back now. I hope you are there, everyone. What about other folks?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And now let's understand about the total cost of ownership here. Now in your interview, right? So whenever you sit in interview, even though sometime also ask, the question that, what do you think? Okay, now tell me the difference between the on-premises cost and the AWS cost, right? So, so how exactly you can answer that question? Because on-premises versus cloud is a question that many business ask. So what do you think? Okay, how exactly you can answer that question? So till now, whatever the knowledge till now you have, anyone?
Yeah, on premises is like cost. It will cost. And
Mm-hmm,
also you might have to take care of it, the whole infrastructure, whole server, racks,
mm-hmm,
and time consuming and everything.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Also, it takes a lot of money out of your pocket. As well as the
mm-hmm,
cloud, which we don't have to worry about all that stuff because it will be
mm-hmm.
taken care by the AWS, and all you have to do is just sign up for the service and start using it. And the rest will
Okay,
be taken care of AWS.
correct.
And some part of the service, it will end up taken care by the customer in the
Mm-hmm.
cloud.
Okay, okay. So that's the benefit. But in terms of if I ask you that, okay, the cost, which for me, let's say per month or per year, what do you think? What is how exactly you can answer that?
AWS is pay as you go.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, pay as you
And
go, and it's more cost effective.
yeah,
Sorry, go ahead, go
mm-hmm.
ahead.
no. That's it. It's an pay as you go service. So it
And
is much more better than the traditional
that's
ones.
right.
And it depends on the which service we are using for each how many services, and if we are going to take it as a platform as a service, software as a
Mm-hmm,
service, or
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
those. And also we won't be having any space rent, like we don't need to pay the space rent
Mm-hmm.
also.
Okay, very good.
And also you can start uh, using the service in and out in like a couple of hours.
Mm-hmm,
As per the on premises, it takes a lot of time and also
mm-hmm.
equipment. Also, you need a setup. Everything it takes more than what does cloud offers.
Okay, okay, very good. So now see, folks, so difference between your on-premises and the AWS, between these two exactly. So how exactly they are deployed, right? So answer is completely based upon how exactly they are deployed. So till now you understand that the on-premises infrastructure is installed locally on a company own computer and server. So there are several fixed costs, also known as capital expenses, and that are also associated with your traditional infrastructure. And capital expenses, include your facilities, hardware, licenses, maintaining the staff. And scaling up can be expensive and time consuming, and scaling down does not reduce the fixed cost. But for the cloud infrastructure, it's purchased from a service provider who build and maintain the facilities, hardware, and maintenance staff as well. So customer pay for what is used. Scaling up or down is simple, and costs are easy to estimate because they depend upon the services. So folks, it is I can say somewhat difficult to compare the on-premises IT delivery model with the AWS. These two are different because they use different concept and different terms, right? So using on-premises IT involve a discussion, right, that is based on your capital expenditure, long planning cycle, multiple component to buy, build, manage, refresh resources over time. And using AWS, okay, it involves the discussion about flexibility, agility, and consumption based on the cost. So how exactly you can identify the best option for you? So for that, there is a called TCO. So you can identify the best option by comparing on-premises solution to the AWS cloud solution. So this total cost of ownership is a tool that can be used for this comparison. So TCO is a financial estimate that is intended to help you or buyers and owner to determine the direct and indirect cost of a product or a system. So this TCO also include the cost of service plus all the costs that are associated with owning the services. So in the cloud environment, TCO is used for comparing the cost, okay, of the running the entire infrastructure environment for a specific workload in an on-premises or co-location facility, and to the same workload which is running on the cloud-based infrastructure. So this comparison is done for a budgeting purpose or to build a business case for a business decision about the optimal deployment solution. So here you can see, right? Now, some of the costs that are associated with the data center management, that is server, storage, network, IT labor. So server costs for both hardware and software, and facilities costs to the in-house equipment. Storage costs for the hardware, administration, and facilities. Network costs for the hardware, administration, and facilities. And for the IT labor, costs that are required to administer the entire solution. So when you compare the on-premises to cloud solution, it is important to accurately assess the true cost of both option. So with the cloud, most costs are upfront and readily calculated. For example, providers like an AWS give you transparent pricing based on the different uses, metrics such as RAM, storage, bandwidth. So pricing is frequently fixed per unit of time, right? So the customer gain a certainty over the pricing, and then they are able to readily calculate the cost based on the different uses estimate. So if you compare this process to the on-premises technology, okay, though they are sometimes difficult to determine because calculation of in-house cost, okay, must take into account all. It means there is a direct and indirect cost to the company. So when I say the direct cost, it means that company running a server like power, floor space, storage, IT operation to manage those resources. Indirect cost, it means sort of of running a server like network and storage infrastructure, right? So this diagram, I can say it's a conceptual and it does not include every cost item. For example, depending on the solution that you are implementing, software costs can include the database management, some middle tier costs, facilities costs that can also include upgrade, maintenance, building security, taxes, and so on. IT labor costs that can also include a security administration and application administration costs, right? So just I want to give the demonstrate it, and here you can see the example. So you can see here is a sample cost comparison, right? And this show a cost comparison for the on-premises solution and the cloud solution, okay, for the 3 year. My pen. right? So you can see here, this is cost for the 3-year. And for this comparison, there is a two similar environment, were constructed to represent the on-premises and AWS environment. And additionally, there is a direct and indirect costs that are associated with the on-premises solutions. Obviously, that is some not included here, taxes, etc., etc. So now let's say, okay, there is a on-premises server which has one virtual machine, 4 CPU, 16 GB of RAM, and Linux operating system. Let's say average utilization of that server is 100%, right? And in AWS, okay, we use one M4 extra large instance. So don't worry, okay, what exactly the M4, that I'm also going to explain in the EC2, right? Where we have exactly the same, okay, exactly the same hardware that we will get it, right? So that EC2 instance is also for the 3-year. Or let's say I'm going to choose partial upfront reserve instance. I'm not going to pay upfrontly. Okay. So the on-premises 3-year total cost is this. That is in USD. And the cloud 3-year cost to the company is just in $7,500, which I can say a 96% of saving over the on-premises solution, right? So the 3-year total saving on the cloud infrastructure around this. Now, this comparison help a business clearly understand the difference between these alternatives. Remember, the on-premises solution is predicted. It continues to incur the cost whether the capacity is the use or not. And by contracts, AWS solution is commissioned when needed and decommissioned when the resource are no longer in use, which also result in a lower cost here. Make sense, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, no.
Yeah,
What
yes.
about other folks?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
So now AWS also offer a tools to help you with these comparison. That is called AWS Simple Monthly Calculator, which also help estimate a monthly AWS bill. So you can also use this tool to add, modify, and remove the services. And then it recalculate the estimate monthly charges automatically. So this calculator also incorporate a wide array of pricing calculation across all services in all regions. It is also show a breakdown of a feature for each services in each region. So there is a simply monthly calculator is a tool which help you to estimate monthly service costs whenever you use AWS. It also identify the opportunities for a cost reduction. And you can also use a templates to model solution to compare a service and the deployment model as well. So this calculator also show some common customer samples and their use cases as well. So you can choose even though for the disaster recovery, backup, right? Or you can also use for the sample web application sample to see the uses of every services. So I'll also show you that how exactly you can calculate the cost. So this TCO calculator also help you to evaluate the total cost of ownership of the solution. You can also reduce the total cost of ownership by reducing your investment in large capital expenditure or capex and using pay as you go model so that you can invest in a capacity that you need whenever you need it. So this TCO calculator also help you to estimate the cost saving when you're using AWS. It also review detailed, which is a set of reports which can be used in your presentations, right? You can also modify the assumptions that best meet your needs. And there is some additional benefit of their calculator include the, the ability to waive the financial consideration of owning the operating system, a data center versus your cloud infrastructure. Also, the TCO calculator also explain the assumptions and the methodology behind these calculations, right? And here you can see there is a hard and soft benefits. So hard benefit include reduce on spending on compute, storage, networking and security. So they also include the reduction in hardware and software purchase, reduction in operational costs, backup and disaster recovery, and also reduction in operational, your personal. So this total cost of ownership define what will be spent on a technology after adoption, or what is the cost to run the solution. So typically a TCO analysis look at the as is on premises infrastructure and compare it with the cost of the to be infrastructure state in the cloud. So while these different might be easy to calculate, it might be only provide some narrow view of the total financial impact for your moving to the cloud and the ROI, return on investment, right? So the analysis can be used to determine the value that is generated, while you also need to consider spending spending and saving. So these analyses also start by identify the hard benefit in terms of direct and visible cost reduction and efficiency improvement. If we talk about the soft benefits, okay, it is also identify soft saving are the value points that are okay challenging to the accurately quantify, but they can be more valuable than the hard saving. And it is important for you to understand both hard and soft benefit to understand full value of the cloud. So soft benefit, as I say, you can see reuse the services, applications that enable you to define and or redefine solutions, okay, by using the same cloud services, right? So these are your entire soft benefits here. But now I just want to give one case study. Now the case study of what? That is the, here you can see that's the Delaware North, right? So so this Delaware North originated in 1915. That is just a peanut and popcorn, okay, concessions vendor. And now today it is a major food and hospitality company, right? So although this company deliberately keep the low profile, but it is a leader in the food service and hospitality industries. So this Delaware North serve more than 500 millions of customer annually at more than 200 locations around the world, including venues. Okay, there is a Kennedy Space Center in Florida, London, right? Um, Australia as well. Uh, so this global presence has turned Delaware North into something 3 billion enterprise. Now the company is on the on-premises data center, and obviously it is too expensive and insufficient or inefficient to support the global business operation, right? So as company continue to grow, the demand to rapidly deploy a new solution and to meet a customer requirement is increased as well. So this fact combined with the need to constantly upgrade the new equipment, which required even greater commitment of the resources on their part, right? So they want to find some better strategies. So now here you can see they have as I say, they have a different broad level of workloads. So now they directly, okay, go to the AWS here, all right? And now you can see that they moved their on-premises data center to the AWS, and they eliminated almost 90% of the server, that is 205 server, right? And they move nearly all application to the AWS, right? And they're using the 3-year EC2 reserve instance, right? So they migrate about 50 websites to the AWS in 2013. And these Delaware North also evaluate the cost benefit and total cost of ownership to move their IT infrastructure to the AWS. So their focus was to answer executive level business demand. Okay, for measurable benefits that cloud convenes the committee. Okay, and the AWS, they find that was the right approach. So now here you can see this is just an comparison. So you can see this chart a display the cost comparison which is done by Delaware North, which is showing the cost on their on-premises environment and the proposed AWS environment. And the estimate show 3.5 million saving based on 5-year run rate by moving from the on-premises data center to AWS. So there is a link as well. Give me 1 second. Let me share you one link. Just give me 1 minute. So I just want to share that detailed case study with you. Yep. Here is a link, folks. Please save this link. And here you can see if you open, all right, if you open this specific one, the link, you will also find that, okay, how exactly they move to the AWS, all right? So you will also see the diagram of their entire infrastructure. I'm just checking another link. Just give me 1 second. Okay, I'll share it. I'm not able to find at the moment, but I can share with you shortly. So to migrate everything from the on-premises to AWS, it required at least 6 months, right? And then they will understand the benefit, right? Include the cost-effective security compliances. They also enhance their disaster recovery, faster deployment above the new different services. So this robust security in the retail environment is very critical for a use because of many retail operations, and AWS is, I can say, helpful. Okay, very helpful because why? Most of the thing is taken care by the AWS, right? So in coming session, I'll also explain you that what exactly the customer responsibility and what exactly the AWS responsibility. So whenever I say the customer responsibility, it means security in the cloud. And whenever I say the security of the cloud, it means it's an AWS responsibility. So for the DOS attack, DDoS attacks, for firewall, it is inbuilt. And most of the services backup that is taken care by the AWS only, right? And as I say that the upgradation, degradation, it's just in one click away. So that's the reason, okay, everyone is now moving to the cloud because of these kind of the benefits. So here just now we understand the total cost of ownership. Okay, how exactly we calculate the cost. As I said that, first, before actually we starting the AWS, I just want to clear why we are using this, right? So I hope you understand why we are using the cloud or why organization moving to the cloud nowadays. And obviously the COVID, right? That is also an eye opener for everyone. So that's the reason the most of the, or even though you can see the top 500 Fortune company, they are heavily reliable or depend upon the AWS part. So if you take a Netflix, right, or any other tool where they need the mass streaming, deployment, applications, PUBG games, mobile games, everyone is heavily depend upon the AWS. Make sense, folks?
Yeah, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Any question? Any question here, folks?
No.
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 No,
So
it
now,
was clear. Yeah.
okay, now I hope you understand why we require the cloud now. Am I correct, everyone? Is that clear?
Yeah, yeah.
Why? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I just want to keep it light, as I said, for the till this week, and from I mean to say, uh, no, Monday onwards, we'll start the practical session. So everyone, have you created AWS trial account?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I created, but after that today when I try to log in, it says unable to log in. So what I should create as I didn't create that IAM user.
No, you don't need to create IAM user. You can, at the moment, you can log into the root account.
So for root account, whatever the mail ID I gave, with that, if
Mm-hmm.
I try to log in,
Mm-hmm.
it still throws me error.
Would you mind to share that error, or do you want to share your
Yeah,
screen? I can
one
help you.
second. Oh, okay. It
So,
logged in. It logged
well,
in now. So,
Okay,
so
great.
no need to set up that MFA now.
No, 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 not required. I'll explain you how exactly you can configure the MFA. I'll share
Okay.
you everything practically.
Yeah,
So
okay, fine.
at the moment, the first thing or priority I can say that only to create an account,
Okay, done,
nothing
done,
else.
done.
Yeah, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, someone is also saying something in between our conversation.
Yeah, it was me, Prashant. I
Yes,
was just
Prashant.
asking in between, so how do you, is giving an option like, is it for business or personal? So should I just
Personal,
say personal,
personal.
right? Okay.
Yeah. And even though whenever you are creating, they'll option that, okay, what is the purpose? So you can just say learning or student purpose, and always choose a free tier.
Okay.
I'm going to say, not business. Make sure it's in personal. All the member, have you created anyone
Um,
facing any kind of challenges?
Hi, Vaidya. This is Nitya here. I
Yeah,
think
hi
I
Nitya.
missed that information session. Will you be able to quickly tell me like how to create and basically for what purpose is that account for?
So it is an AWS free tier account, right?
Okay.
As we are going to learn everything on the AWS. So for the practical session, so if you want to perform the practical, so for that you need to create AWS free tier account.
Okay.
Okay, and we are going to perform everything on that free tier account only.
Okay.
So here is a link. Okay, so you just need to create your own account by
Okay.
providing your information and the debit card, credit card details. It will deduct, I guess, only $1 from your account, right?
Okay.
And that is only for the authentication or the purpose that whether you are the valid user or not,
Okay.
right? And it will not deduct any kind of the money, even though if it is bill generated, it is not an auto debited.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
thank you. Any other question, folks? Okay, great then. Let's stop it here because as I said, I just want to keep it light. Okay, but we'll start, okay, from the Monday onwards. Okay, all these, services. So first, I'm going to also explain about how exactly AWS manage their infrastructure. So for that, also explain you what exactly the regions, what exactly the availability zones, what exactly it is, how AWS manage their infrastructure, right? So that I'm going to explain as well. And once I explain these dashboards and everything, then we'll actually start to creating the user groups, roles, everything. Okay, so that's the reason I'll say that please make sure that you have a AWS trial account. Okay, everyone. Hey, hi
Okay.
Satish, are you there?
Thank you, Mia. Thank
Yeah,
you.
got it.
Guys, any other questions for Amir today? So, Amir, you have a session tomorrow evening
Yes,
at 8 p.m. EST. And
correct.
thank you for the wonderful training today. And I can see the engagement is improving. I can see a lot of people asking questions. This is great. Okay. So today's session recordings will be sent to your email, and it will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. And once coming Monday onwards, I recommend if you're deciding to go ahead, I recommend send an email or text me and get yourself enrolled in. And starting Monday, we will have a separate WhatsApp group too, right? The people who are finalizing to join the batch, feel free to attend tomorrow's session as well and continue to learn. And you know how to reach me in my email. I have my contact number and email. If you're looking forward, if you have any questions, please try to reach me. And so you all have a great evening. See you all tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. EST. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you. Bye.